Tomorrow night.
We're learning new details tonight about the suspected Christmas Day plane bomber. He is reportedly telling interrogators that an American-born cleric ordered him to blow up a plane over U.S. soil. The terror attempt led to calls for beefed-up security on U.S. flights. Apparently, that has not happened. Drew Griffin right now has our special investigation.
On Christmas Day of last year, Umar Abdulmutallab tried to blow up a U.S.-bound flight from Amsterdam with a bomb hidden in his underwear. There were no air marshals on board. After this attack was foiled by passengers, the president called for
more air marshals on flights.
Homeland Security Secretary Janet Napolitano testified before Congress.
We will strengthen the capacity of aviation law enforcement, including the Federal Air Marshal Service.
Has it happened? Not according to the Federal Air Marshals, or FAMs as they call themselves, who are supposed to be making those flights. Several spoke to CNN on condition we protect their identities.
Since Christmas, most of my domestic flights, a few of them have involved what we consider the RJs or the Embraer Air 171s, the smaller aircraft. Plenty of international trips they could be covering aircraft, inbound flights from the foreign countries, and they're not doing it. There's really no excuse for it.
But there is a reason for it, these air marshals claim. Lots of short-haul flights make the Marshal Service look more productive on paper, even though many of those flights are considered low security risks. As CNN has reported for 3 years, the odds of you having an air marshal on your flight is so low that air marshals tell us managers use creative accounting to pad the numbers given to Congress.
The way they do it is Mickey Mouse. I mean, they even go to the extent of when you're flying personally, they count that as a mission if you're flying armed, if you're going on vacation with your family. It's how they help keep the numbers up.
Though the actual number is classified, it's been widely reported that the number of air marshals covering 28,000 flights a day is fewer than 4,000. Do the math like we did. Consider that any trip requires at least 2 marshals. Large international flights require even more. And at best, without sick days, without vacations, the air marshals can cover only 5% of flights. The Air Marshal Service tells CNN additionally high-trained officers are being deployed aboard an increasing number of flights worldwide, they say, to keep air travel safe.
It's mostly money down the drain as far as I can see.
Professor John Mueller's just completed a detailed cost-benefit assessment of aviation security in the U.S. He found of the 20 layers of security used by the TSA to protect air travel, the air marshals have been worthless since 9/11.
As we've seen with the underwear bomber, passengers are not going to sit around waiting for somebody else to do something. Their lives are at stake, and they're going to jump in.
What should be done with the air marshals? Republican Congressman John Duncan of Tennessee says, get rid of them.
The solution seems to be we need to double, we need to triple. We need to triple down on this, get many, many, many thousands more air marshals.
Well, we may do that, but I sure would hate to see it because it's just a total waste of money. I know that anytime you create a federal bureaucracy, it just grows and grows, and the appropriations just go up and up and up. But as I said, look at the record. They haven't done anything.
Last week, President Obama asked for an additional $85 million to beef up the Federal Air Marshal Service.
And Drew Griffin is with us right now. And Drew, pretty harsh to say just get rid of them. How can that make us any safer?
Campbell, from the security experts and the air marshals themselves, their time and talent, they're telling us, is being wasted. Look, this was a hastily grown group put together, a knee-jerk reaction really after 9/11. The mission was to protect the cockpit doors. They're not really trained to find that guy in the back of the plane with a bomb. So once the cockpit doors were hardened and locked, they literally became useless. The experts and the marshals say, put them in the airports, let them do behavioral profiling, find the terrorists before they board a plane, or have them respond to specific threats when we know about them. But the idea of somehow air marshals randomly flying around, hoping to be on the right plane at the right time, is really, they say, ridiculous. and possibly even more dangerous.
Why do you mean more dangerous?
Well, an air marshal on board also means a gun is on board. Security experts I've talked to say that introducing any gun in a passenger cabin, even if it's with an air marshal, is a gun that's available to a bad guy if they can gain access to it. Secondly, the Professor Mueller, says if passengers think there is an air marshal on board, they may be less likely to act quickly when in fact the chances of an air marshal on board are very, very low. So yes, this entire security measure, as implemented, could actually pose more risk than security.
All right, Drew Griffin for us tonight. Drew, thanks very much. Appreciate it.